I decided to do a video talking about the kinds of extraterrestrial contact I've established in the last 5 years and the details about these beings, if I can provide them. I just want to make a note, like, before you venture into this kind of world where you're making contact with beings, make sure that you're doing it with somebody that you can, talk to you about things. I wouldn't necessarily trust any kind of being that you make contact with. Not all of them are good. So just make a little warning out there, like, don't try to contact people or beings that you don't know. Okay, because it might just compromise your own physical safety. Alright, so one of the primarily, the most common beings that you might end up seeing if you're a remote viewer or somebody that's established contact is the Zeta Reticuli, which is the little Zeta Grays. These beings are short, 3 to 4 feet tall. They can be a little bit taller than that, but they're primarily that short. There's two kinds of gray aliens that people have seen. The one I drew here is actually the shorter, the little Zeta Reticuli, the one that has the larger, rounder head and smaller round chins. Okay, they have small, thin bodies. They're anonymous appearances. They all have the same appearance. I call them vehicle bodies because you can port your consciousness into them. And I don't want to suggest anyone to do that, because a lot of the time the royalty use these beings. They use these bodies to do hands-on projects with humans and other species interdimensionally. The other kind of grays that people have seen are not the nice ones. They're taller. They're the tall grays, and they have thinner cheeks, pointier chins, and then they have the round bulbous head too. But they're slightly different than the small grays. I will note that the tall grays are not human friendly. I'm just going to go ahead and say that outright. I don't feel like the tall grays are nice to people. If anything, I think they're trying to clone a lot of humans, and I've personally seen some of their projects, and I don't trust these beings. Okay, the Zeta Reticuli, the short grays, however, are different. These are the ones that primarily work with humans. They're the most encountered. Fifth kind encounters are common. They work directly with the hybridization program. They are like the hands-on beings that handle or do hands-on approach to things with other species. So collecting DNA, blood samples, that kind of stuff, where they'll transverse to other places, other planets. They have bases on the dark side of the moon. They have double eyelids. Due to the distance of the sun, it's closer to their planet, one of their planets. The sun is very close, so they have to have double eyelids. They are primarily telepathic communicators. They have telekinetic abilities, telekinesis, so they can move objects, they can open doors, unlock locks, they can manipulate technology. They can also cloak themselves for invisibility. You would never see them standing next to you. They can also, some of them can actually shapeshift. There's another race I didn't mention in here, but I'll get to that at the very end. They have remote viewing capabilities. They can cause sleep paralysis. They can do memory wipes. They can put you under hypnosis. They have water-based DNA, 4 fingers, 4-finger hands. Yeah, and I'm convinced that they're a biological species that can handle the environment down here. So I think that's why they're portable. I think that's why that's why they can port their consciousness into the vehicle bodies. Like, so royalty races can use the Zeta Reticuli bodies to do their business, conduct their business, and no one will know who it is because it's anonymous. The appearances are always anonymous. So that's what that's used for. The next race is the mantis race. The common dialect is like a series of clicking noises. Like they talk like this, like they make clicking noises. You might often hear them doing like a clicking noise when they're around. They can cause sleep paralysis. They can wipe memories. They can use hypnosis, can remote view interact. They can cloak themselves. They are telepathic communicators and can remotely interact with you as well. Interested in hybridization. Fifth kind encounters are rare but not absent. Okay. Semen, egg extractions. Can cloak for invisibility, can be good or bad, can be different colors. Tall bodies, thin, long fingers. Hands are like praying mantis, have some parts on top of their head. So some of them have like extra stuff on their heads. I don't know, like antennae, or I'm not sure what to define it as. Some of them just appear like this, and they're very tall, lanky bodies. Okay, the next race is the Lyrian race, which is the feline race. They're humanoids. They stand upright. They can talk telepathically or using language. Oftentimes are seen with bodysuits, tight clothing, and I feel like the material it's made out of is protective material, because primarily when they're in their spaceships, they're in protective equipment for their, I don't know, they're always in these suits. I don't know and they're like dark blue or some color. I think they have they are militarized, like they have military. Can be good or bad. They are tall, muscular. They have hair all over their bodies. They have hands with claws. They can be 6 feet or taller, males and females. Remote viewing, interaction abilities, telekinetic abilities. They have their own technology, spacecraft. Third or fourth kind encounters are common. I don't think it's very common that you're going to have the fifth kind of encounters. They don't physically pop up. They usually do it at third and fourth kind. Okay. This being that I've established, well, I didn't necessarily contact him on purpose. It kind of just happened. His name is Marduk, and he's an Anunnaki royalty. I'm convinced that he might be related to the Alpha Centauri race because of his horns. 6 to 8 feet tall. He has he has immense strength. He has very muscular body. His skin color is dark forest green with beige spots all over his body. And he looks humanoid. He looks like a tall man, but he's very muscular. He has these jagged stuff on his elbows. He has cat yellow eyes. He can be good or bad. I do feel like he is an authority figure. He's telepathic, telekinetic abilities. I do believe he is a warlord. Has advanced technology. I don't want to share too much detail about him, like his projects, and I definitely wouldn't make contact with him or make him upset. And the message I also put on here is please don't contact him directly. He likes his privacy. So, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily try to make contact with him. If he doesn't want to talk to you, don't try to talk to him. He's not the one you want to mess with. Sasquatch. This is Bigfoot. Everyone knows this being as like Bigfoot. It's not one being. It's like it's a whole race. They live all over the planet. They're primarily they are spliced DNA, so they're a type of hybrid. Blue avians, which is the bird race. Arcturians, the blue, purple, pale race. Alpha Centauri race, horned beings. They have a great military. They're connected to the royalty race. Anunnaki. The Anunnaki helped engineer humans via genetic engineering using spliced DNA. They are authority. They're a military presence primarily out there. Their military is very lethal. They own domains in the cosmos. Okay, and what I mean by domains, I mean like planets, areas, sections in certain constellations. Okay. There's vampire race. I actually connected with vampire race, and they showed me their home planet is in the Pleiades constellation. They showed me on a map. I'm not going to show you because I feel like it's a little too much detail. Werewolf race, and then I also made a note: some wars aren't myths. So we know about the myths, and like in Hollywood, they talk about vampires and werewolf being at war. Well, these aren't myths. These are real wars. Star Wars franchise has much reference to previous extra-dimensional wars and extraterrestrial wars. So a lot of that information has been channeled into Hollywood films and stories. There's a lot more races I have not covered in this video. There's the Nephilim, which is the giants. They actually live here on this planet too, and they're in hiding. Actually, a lot of people are becoming aware of them in certain parts of the world, primarily third world countries. You might hear little stories. Ex-veterans, ex-military people coming forward talking about the giants and the Nephilim. Okay. Some peasants, people that are not necessarily established, have had encounters with the Anunnaki royalty or the Legion, the military. Okay. I don't want to go into too much detail about like what would point towards an Anunnaki royalty affiliation or military, but I do want to let people know that they are around, okay? And they have been coming and going to this planet. Actually, the government has been in several different skirmishes. Yemen, Idlib Province, Afghanistan, these are primary hotspots. This is why the government and other governments have had an interest in these third world countries. And participating is because of the technology deep under the ground, and also the presence of non-human humanoids and strongholds. You're probably going to hear, you're going to hear something at some point. The news has already kind of started talking about certain UFOs and comings and goings of certain races or beings. They're not going to go into much detail on the news about what we're seeing or what we're getting in visits, because there's privacy laws or extraterrestrial privacy laws. So, yeah, it's a bit hard to. I don't want to personally go into too much detail. Not because I'm scared of like being fucking stalked or whatever. I've already been stalked by the government. I just want to protect certain information, because I know the government is very corrupt on this planet and are most likely looking for information via remote interactionists like myself. So I was very careful to only mention information that they already have. So, anyways, but yeah, this is just a few races that I made a list of. There's definitely more to my story. I've definitely had some visits and out-of-body experiences, and also astral projection to other planets and civilizations. I've interacted with some beings. I've been on some spacecrafts. I don't want to go into that on this video, but yeah, this is kind of what I came up with for right now. Thanks for watching.